Yes, I mean, a lot of
Alright. How's everyone doing, chat? Welcome. Oh, wrong screen. Hold up, let's go this. How's everyone doing? Welcome back to another episode. Hey, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? What the hell is going on? Alright, there you go. Forgot to put my hat on, but it's okay. We're gonna leave non-hat pride today. Hair slicked back, even though it's not really staying slicked back, so it doesn't matter. Also, I need to fix the webcam. It's a little too dark, so let me configure the settings. Default, take off the focus, low light compensation mode, boom boom pow. There you go. You know what? We're putting the hat on. I need a haircut, and I haven't gone to the barber in over a month. That's the problem now. That's the problem when you are working from home. You know, when you go to an office, when you are going to an office and you know, have to look presentable. You get your haircut on time and all that. But you know, now that I don't have to please anybody, now that I don't have to go to an office and look presentable or not look homeless on the subway, I can prolong my haircut. So that's exactly what's happening over here. On the image over here on the right side, that's basically the thumbnail for today. The topic of today, the topic for tomorrow, the topic for the whole week, the topic for the whole month, the topic for the whole year. Well, there's not much left for the year left, but the topic for the rest of the year is Nvidia. How is Nvidia going to report the earnings? You guys like my Jensen Huang what do you call it, cosplay with the graphics card, with the leather jacket, jeans, and the white shirt? Jensen Huang cosplay, ladies and gentlemen. This hat sucks. Honestly, I just need to go get a haircut, man. I just need to go get a goddamn haircut. Let me fix my hair. Boom. There you go. Make myself look like Waldo a little bit. Put my slick back hair back into straight position where it should be. Nah, I still look homeless. I still look homeless. I love it. I still look homeless. My hair's all over the place. Anyways, you guys are here about the market. Markets have been moving once again. You know, that's the natural thing to do. Markets move. Money is made. Money is lost. But the question is, how did you guys do today? Did you guys make some money? Even though QQQ had a red day overall, SPY was down 0.8%, QQQ down 1.5%, IWM a little bit of a relief, you know, little slight 0.3% up on the day today for IWM, but the Dow Jones again down 1%. And like I said earlier, all eyes on Nvidia. Big earnings day tomorrow. It's going to play as the barometer. For those of you who don't know what a barometer is basically a gauge. It's to find out how good the report is going to be for the overall market, or how bad the report is going to be for the overall market. 6-7. How bad the overall report is going to be for the whole market. Right now, you can see how Nvidia is holding off around that 180 area, which, you know, is a nice key level, key point area, key inflection area, in my opinion, from where we can decide if we want to go short or if we want to go long. Tomorrow after hours, most likely you won't have the chance to play around 180, but if you do get a chance to play around 180, I think that you're going to find some really good opportunities, either to the long, either to the south. Just depends on how the numbers come out. At the moment, though, we've seen SoftBank dump their position in Nvidia. We've seen Peter Thiel dump his position in Nvidia, almost like they know something. Now, we don't know what they know, but almost like they know something. If you believe that AI is you know, just at the start. What the hell? Oh, this is post split. I was gonna say $7 on Nvidia. No fucking way. 2023, not a chance. But if you believe that you know, AI is just at the forefront and we got a lot more upside coming in the near future, then ladies and gentlemen, why would you dump your position over here, right? This is as Chris Camillo says, this is buy the dip opportunity. You buy every single dip out there in in Nvidia, in Google, in Microsoft. I mean, you name every single AI company out there that's doing AI shenanigans. It's your opportunity to buy the dip and load up on your positions. But looks like that's the opposite that's happening from these big guys. Big guys are actually selling, dumping their position, even dumping 76%. Let's just give it a nice 70%, 75% of Tesla for Peter Thiel. Very, very surprising action going on across the market. Amazon having a little bit of a destructive pullback over here after hitting a new all-time high. Completely rejected that basic move above all-time high. Some of this probably has to do with the market, but look at that pullback over there. Just crazy things happening. And the question again, I'm gonna have to keep repeating this, it's all gonna depend on how Nvidia reports tomorrow. Avoid Nvidia, Buffett chooses Google. I mean, Buffett is a great barometer himself as to what to do in the market, what not to do in the market. But there's also other investors out there who make more money than Buffett in a smaller period of time, right? Buffett's not the end all be all, the god of the market. He makes a lot of money, but there's also other traders out there who are making more money than him and are also putting less risk than him. So it really depends on your investing style. It doesn't matter if you want to go with Nvidia or with Google. In my opinion, just be smart. Don't be stupid, right? Keep it simple. Keep your system simple and execute on your system. If your system is telling you to buy the dip on Nvidia, then buy the dip. I personally, I'm not a buy the dip guy. I am more wait for confirmation and then some levels to form, and then we can decide as to how to play out. And Nvidia at the moment, why the hell does Nvidia look so different over here than here? I guess just because of my indicators and my lines. Oh, because this is the overnight market. Haha, that makes a lot more sense. There you go. So Nvidia, just wait for it to give you some proper levels to play off of, some good risk levels to play off of. Right now, there is no clear setup for a swing trade, and honestly, I've kind of been done with swing trading. I walked away from my swing account completely. I'm now back to being a day trader. If you guys were following me on Twitter, previously I had swing trader in my bio, but now I don't even swing trade anymore, right? So it's just up to your skill level. It's up to your setups, what you know how to take advantage of and what you don't know how to take advantage of. So just gotta make sure that you know what you're doing and playing within your playbook. That's all the end of the matter. That's all that matters. People come up with wild theories. What is it? Kathy Wood thinks Bitcoin is going to 300,000, so let me buy Bitcoin. So what happens if you do that? You got absolutely smoked. Bitcoin is now below 90K. Well, it was below 90K at one point yesterday or even today morning, but now you can see how we're peaking back above 90, trying to see if there's any support above 90. If you bought Bitcoin at 110, 111, 150, 120, just because Kathy Wood said so, doesn't, you're gonna be crying right now. So you should never be following anyone blindly. Do your own research, even Buffett for that case. Never follow anyone blindly, and do your own research and only play with money that you can lose. You're affording to lose. That's all that matters. You didn't mention X was offline mostly this morning. I mean, that doesn't really matter. Who cares if it went offline? All I care about is why it went offline. What matters is why it went offline, and that is NET. If I remember correctly, what was the other company? CrowdStrike. When CrowdStrike had an outage, that brought down a lot of infrastructures around the world, such as hospitals, airplanes, schools, and all that kind of stuff. I think that was around here. This was the drop, I believe, not the 90 drop, but the drop from 300 to 200 was the one I remember. But look at CrowdStrike, completely reversed all the way back up. I did not see this reversal coming, and I talked about this. I thought CrowdStrike would lose a lot more of its participants, a lot more of its customers because of this activity that they went through, but complete reversal on CrowdStrike. Today you had Cloudflare, which is the reason why most of the websites went down for a bit. It's not Twitter's fault, so why would I mention Twitter? It's Net's fault, it's Cloudflare's fault, and they are to blame for the outage that we're seeing now. So we've seen this playbook play before, where an outage comes out from a significant tech company, and that causes some sort of a trouble across the board. What the fuck is going on? That causes some sort of a trouble across the board, causing the stock to bleed, causing the market to get hurt a little bit, which could play out. Now, the significance is not that big. You know, Cloudflare outage was not as big as CrowdStrike's outage, which caused, again, hospitals and schools to go down, airports to go down. So I don't think this is a similar trade where it goes all the way back into 150, 100, and then goes into a new all-time high. But we've seen this playbook before, so it's worth watching to see if there's more selling coming into play and how it plays out. Right before Cloudflare's mishap, you had, I think last month or the month before that, Amazon's mishap. Amazon US East Server 1 went down, and that brought down, once again, half the world, because half the world runs on Amazon web servers, AWS. So these things happen. I'm not focused too much on that. All I care right now is really what stocks are reporting earnings, because we are still in earnings season. How they're moving, how can we take advantage of them? So short stream today, because mainly no stocks reported after hours that I care about. Once again, stocks that reported pre-market are more interesting, and no poly market markets for us to trade at the moment either. So sadly, that's the nature for the current streams this week, because earnings season is coming to an end. There is not enough markets on Polymarket to trade live on stream with you guys. As you can see, the next market for the stock market is actually on the 19th of November. So that's going to be tomorrow. So tomorrow, 20th, and then we have another little break in between up till Dell's earnings report, which is 25th of November. So Polymarket's a little dry at the moment for me. And the stock market, obviously, you could say I'm losing interest. You know, someone accused me of being demotivated and losing interest, but really, I have nothing to talk about. There's nothing going on that's too serious. Everything is around the overall large caps, and everyone's just patiently waiting to see what Nvidia is gonna do. So Nvidia tomorrow is going to be, once again, the main stock that everyone's going to be watching after hours. It's going to dictate how the market's going to move, possibly for the rest of the year. If Nvidia misses earnings reports, you can forget market going back into a new all-time high before the end of the year. It's just not happening. And if Nvidia reports well, then there's very good chance that the market pushes back into all-time high, bounces right off the 50-day moving average, which we're currently below. So not looking good, currently below the 50-day moving average, and I want to put in a marker at that low, which is around 590, 589. If we get below 589 and are able to successfully stay below 589, I'm going to call it that we're gonna go ahead and test the 200-day moving average on the QQQ, at which point you need to be very, very defense mode. You don't want to be fighting the market on the way down. You could catch it on the turn, the right side of the V, right? What people do is they get chopped up in this area, and then they take so many losses on the way down that they don't have enough risk appetite or mental fortitude to actually catch the turn and then make the money when the turn's happening. You don't have to be first to the game, guys, especially if you're trading with $1,000, $2,000 accounts, $25,000 accounts. You don't have to be first to the game. The people who have to be first to the game are the people who are trading with millions, trillions, billions, because they need the liquidity. They need the liquidity, which they can't get on the turn. On the turn, sometimes it makes too much of a move, and they're not going to be able to deploy their hundreds of billions of dollars in this area. But you, with your $10 account, with your $20 account, you should not be trying to catch this side of the angle, okay? This is not your game. Your game starts over here, and then you capitalize when the turn happens. So depending on your bank account, depending on what your risk appetite is, make sure that you're applying proper methodologies. This is a very good methodology introduced by Lance. He talks about right side of the V mainly for day trading, but honestly, these patterns are so repetitive and you can see on every single time frame. You can also apply this in the stock market. Here, for example, this is the right side of the V. If you try to buy over here, you probably got burnt. If you try to buy over here, you probably got burnt. But if you just waited for the bottom to happen, capitulation, market has never traded that much volume before. We are basically going down multiple ATRs in a very short period of time over fear. This is basically the Japan fear, if I remember correctly, over fear. And then we bottom out with a capitulation volume. And then look how easy it is to go long over here. Look how easy it is to go long over here. You are basically getting in at the same prices, but you are never wrong. You are never losing money on your trade, and you get to capitalize on that whole big move, the dream, instead of becoming the meme that you usually end up being when you're trying to catch the front side. Once again, the same methodology can be applied for day trading, for swing trading, for long-term investing. So know the bank account that you're playing with and then deploy your money properly. Don't be stupid. Okay? Something that I shouldn't say my friend because I don't think he even knows I exist, but somebody that I follow quite closely, Alpha Trends, Brian Shannon, he always talks about how one should never buy the dip. A dip is not to get bought, okay? Dip is just an opportunity forming, getting ready to signal the entry. The entry is signaled on the turn. So don't buy dips. Buy the turn after the dip and then have a rent-free run to the upside. You know, like a stress-free run to the upside. And I'm applying that to Bitcoin at the moment too. I see Dave Portnoy, an absolute moron if you ask me in this case, because he did not want to buy Bitcoin over here, but now after this whole run up and the pullback, he's talking about how when there's blood in the water, it's time to be a shark. So now he's buying Bitcoin, which honestly, with someone as big as his buying power, maybe it makes sense that he starts buying on the dip over here and then really hammers it when the turn happens. You buy 1/10 on the dip, and then you buy 9/10 of your position on the rip, on the turn, which could possibly be his setup. But if you're ignoring key principle mathematics that the market is giving you, what is that right there when the green moving indicator is crossing the purple moving indicator? That is the death cross, okay? A death cross is exactly what it sounds like. It's when a market, when a stock, when an equity, when a portfolio is dying. Here's MSTR with the death cross. Here's Apple with the death cross in April 2025, okay? Death crosses don't lead to good things. Then you have the golden cross, which usually leads to better things, right? So make sure that you are analyzing charts, using moving averages to really help you get into a position at the right time, and not just because you think that it's dipping and every dip is there for you to make money. No, not every dip is there for you to make money. Sometimes a dip is there for you to get ruined and get absolutely killed on. So be very careful what you're doing out there in the market, guys. Just because it dipped doesn't mean it can't go lower. All right? So be very vigilant. Right now, things are looking scary for Bitcoin. We are crashing pretty hard. And yes, I'm going to use the word crash, especially because of the death cross. A big Bitcoin crash. A lot of people were positioning themselves that Bitcoin is not going to get below 100K by the end of the year. And all of them were wrong. Especially Michael Saylor. Ha 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 ha, Michael Saylor. Surprisingly enough, though, what is Saylor's / MSTR BTC average? Let's see if Perplexity gets it right. I think Perplexity is gonna get it wrong here. Oh, they got it right. Not bad. Where is MicroStrategy's website? Okay. What is that website again from MicroStrategy? There you go. Strategy dot. I guess it's not micro anymore. It's strategy. 74,433. Did you get that right? 74,000. Okay, you got it right. So they got the average price right. When is the margin call for strategy if BTC keeps crashing? And last time I did that, I think it's at around $25,000, which was pretty insane to me. To see that if that's true. I mean, or let's see, is only margin call risk is related to the 2022 collateralized Bitcoin from Silvergate Bank, which went bankrupt, which carries 50% loan to value trigger based on available disclosures. Margin call would only be triggered if Bitcoin dropped to 21,000. Now that's a long way down. Okay. 21,000 is so far away from where the stock or the portfolio where Bitcoin currently is trading at. So you might not have to be worried if you are a strategy holder, or if you're a sailor, or if you're a sailor lover. You might not have to be worried about a margin call anytime soon, because I really don't think Bitcoin's going to 21K unless Satoshi randomly decides to rug Bitcoin like how they rug meme coins. You guys probably know Pump Fun, right? Meme coins get rugged all the time. Get out of my face. Trying to find a meme coin that's getting rugged. This meme coin's going up right now, but eventually this coin will get rugged. How can we find a good meme coin? I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys, what the hell is all these meme coins? There you go, rugged, right? So as soon as Satoshi decides to ever move his Bitcoin and liquidate his Bitcoin, this is what's happening to Bitcoin. At that point, we can be worried about a 21K coming into play, but honestly, nobody knows who Satoshi is. Nobody knows if it's ever going to happen. There is a polymarket bet going around. Will Satoshi move Bitcoin in 2025, which at one point spiked up to 20% or so, 14% or so, but right now you can see how the yes is only trading at 2% probability. Funny market. It was a very, very funny market when it came out. I laughed a little bit, but realistically, if Satoshi ever actually moves Bitcoin or cashes out of his Bitcoin wallet, he's absolutely crashing the market, which would be a movie. It would be an absolute movie, and I would be very happy watching that happen, because then I get to say I told you so to everyone that cryptos are absolute bullshit. But at the end of the day, you know, stocks are bullshit too. It's just a fugazi value. What is a share? It's just a piece of paper that you don't even get to hold physically. There is, you know, people call it shares. I own this, I own that. Realistically, you own jack shit all, and all you're doing is giving your money to a company or to a brokerage, and sometimes you're able to multiply it, sometimes you're not able to multiply it. So it's a little bit of a joke overall, if you ask me. Everything's fugazi, as they say it in the Wolf of Wall Street movie. So if you believe in it, you know, opportunities are there. And if you don't believe in it, even then opportunities are there. So if you're somebody like me who doesn't care for crypto, who doesn't care for Bitcoin, that doesn't mean that there isn't money to be made, right? Same idea that I apply to Apple. Just because I'm a perpetual Apple hater, I vowed to never own Apple products, doesn't mean I can't own Apple shares. I own Apple shares right now from 216, and I still haven't sold it at 270. That's a lie. I actually took some profits at 256, and I still own some shares up to here now. But the point is, what the hell is this? Is this the Anchor VWAP? But the point is, you know, not allergic to money. I'm allergic to the product. As simple as that. Very, very simple. Let's go to now the earnings board, show you guys what's in store for tonight after hours. I kind of went over the earnings board already. Nothing too interesting, nothing too significant that stands out. Where is it? There you go. Dolby Studios, who cares? SQM might be the only one that matters. Lazy Boy, nah. None of these stocks matter. I'll be honest with you. You had some China stocks reporting today that were important. Tomorrow, Target, VIX, TJ Maxx, bullish. Those are some good names to keep an eye on. Make sure you're putting that on your watch list. Once again, I'm gonna repeat what I said yesterday. If you're trading a stock in the pre-market time zone, make sure that you know what the time they have their conference call, because you don't want to get caught offside when their conference call is happening. You don't want to get caught offside when their conference call is happening. So make sure you go check when that is. For example, Target reports tomorrow pre-market. Their conference call is at 8 a.m. Most likely will be done before 10 or before 9:30, which is when the market opens. So you don't have to be too stressed about that. TJ Maxx or bullish. BLSH might be during market hours. So make sure that you it's just before market opens, so that's kind of a good thing too. The point I'm trying to get to is you want to be careful on a stock that reports earnings in pre-market, and they also have a conference call during market hours, because that could make or break your position. Like for example, Lowe's expected to potentially go till 10 o'clock in the morning, which is 30 minutes after market hours. So make sure if you're trading Lowe's, you are in tune with that time. They are better collateralized than every bank and insurance company in the world. I mean, that doesn't matter. If you're going down, if your stock is crashing like it is at the moment, you know, why does any of that matter? You know, I could have bought JP Morgan and never been in risk in the same time period that I bought MSTR, right? It just makes no sense. And now anyone who bought MSTR and didn't take profits because they're a Michael Saylor fangirl and they're a Bitcoin lover, they're all underwater now. Completely underwater, and Saylor has all these stupid companies in between that are absolute scams. You're selling people things that they have no clue about, and you're just trying to, I mean, Saylor's gonna end up in jail very soon, and I'm gonna be so happy when that happens. STRB is that one? STRA? Like, there's so many of these stupid companies or tickers that he created. Let's just go strategy. STRC, STRK, 8% perpetual, blah 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 blah, STRF, 10%, STRD. Like, you're selling people things that they have no clue about, and you're killing people's bank accounts. Absolutely killing people's bank accounts. If there is one person who does belong in jail, it's fucking Michael Saylor. All right, Michael Saylor, an absolute scam artist, belongs in jail, along with his peers over here on the Forbes list, along with Scam Altman, along with this idiot over here. I forget what company he worked for. Wait, isn't this the guy who... Is this the Carvana guy? I forgot what company this guy works for. Oh, WeWork. There you go, not Carvana. And you guys all know the female Steve Jobs wannabe over here with their turtleneck. Only thing left for these guys to do is only thing left for Saylor to do now is to end up in jail to join this elite circle of geniuses, absolute geniuses out there. So you know, I'm just gonna continue hating on Saylor. Angry Buddha, I know you're a big fangirl of Saylor and a big fangirl of Bitcoin, but that's not gonna stop me from being a hater. You know, I still love you though. But if that's gonna stop you from watching the stream just because I'm a hater, you know, I'm okay with that, because I'm not gonna stop hating on something that deserves to be hated on. And it's everything Saylor touches. It's everything and anything Saylor touches. I'm just gonna be 100% hater. Saying that MSTR is a better investment than putting your money in JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs is fucking crazy. It's absolute batshit crazy. Let's go year to date. Where is it? There you are. $35%. Down 31%. Okay? JP Morgan up 24%. I mean, we already looked at MSTR. We can now go to STRD, STD for fucking fuck's sake, STRD, STD. There's so many of them, down 21% year to date. Like how are you gonna sit here and tell me that year to date MicroStrategy is a better investment than putting your money in a bank? What? That makes no sense, dude. I'm sorry, but you know, you're entitled to your opinion with your love to Michael Saylor and your love to cryptocurrencies and your love to Bitcoin, but that's just a wild statement. While Bitcoin dealt a blow, it's hardly a death blow. I mean, you're not wrong. It is not a death blow. It is down. I don't think it's gonna go below like 70K. I do think 70K holds if we do go back down there. You know, I agree with you there, TH. It's not a death blow, but there's more to come if you know, if people don't start selling their kidneys and buying Bitcoin, right? So people need to start selling their kidneys and start buying Bitcoin for Michael Saylor's strategy to work properly. What an absolute monkey that guy is. I'm just so happy watching MSTR burn it to the ground. I've been crying MSTR songs for how long now, and it makes me so happy watching it burn. Still, in light of the recent events, Bitcoin bulls look like idiots. If you bought it up here, then yes, you're an absolute idiot. If you believed Michael Saylor, and if you bought, you know, the stupid strategy he says, what is it? Buying all-time highs is the best strategy. Sell your kidney and buy all-time high is the best strategy. If you believe something stupid like that, then yes, obviously you deserve to lose. But if you were smart and bought it in right areas, like this consolidation, somewhere in this consolidation here, you're never out of the money, right? In this consolidation, it never really broke out. You take a quick little loss. In this consolidation, you're in the money and you're never out of the money. There's some spots where it could work. You know, it's not the worst thing to do, but doing it in what Michael Saylor tells you to is just absolutely retarded. Like absolute brain dead. Brain dead. Anyways, stocks tomorrow, pre-market, Target, TGT. That's a good one. TGT has been struggling for some time. I think ever since they had the Vogue campaign, they absolutely got destroyed and they never really recovered from it. Another example of why not to buy stocks below the 200-day moving average. If a stock is below 200-day, good things don't happen below 200-day, especially when the 200-day moving average is sloping to the downside, is slanted to the downside. So MicroStrategy is exactly in that basket, right? So Target, making sure that you are watching this name. It has a pretty good bottom over here, but also Target has a very low PE ratio now. Now that it's been crumbled to the ground. It'll be funny if Target stops existing in the near future. That'll be a little funny in my opinion. PE ratio of 10. So it's gonna be hard to look for an extreme bearish thesis, an extreme short on Target, unless Target is already below these levels and struggling to reclaim these levels. Then it's going to be an easier short. But because of that PE ratio, if we just push down to 85 and hold off near 85 somewhere here, I'm not looking to take a breakdown short. I'll maybe short the pops into VWAP. I'll short the retracements if the stock is staying below VWAP. But I'm not looking to take a low a day breakdown. I'm not looking to take a aggressive short, right? I'm gonna take a passive short, not an aggressive short. Same thing about Bitcoin. You know, if you're taking a breakout, that's an aggressive long. But if you're taking an entry on dips, on pullbacks, on consolidations, that's a more passive trade. So passive over aggressive. There's times when you need to be aggressive and there's times when you need to be passive. Very, very important to understand the difference between the two. Like over here, that's when you need to be aggressive, right? Taking the breakout at 360 on Tesla when the markets are bull trending, when the markets are flying off to the upside and Tesla is so close to the 200-day moving average. average, that right there is a reason to be aggressive and take the breakout entry. But right now, as the market's being weak, if Tesla is going to try and break out and you take the breakout, there's chances that that breakout gets negated and gets pushed right back. And in fact, that's exactly what you see right here on Tesla. If you zoom in, you can see how, oh, fuck you. If you zoom in, you can see how that breakout basically had no sustaining power on Monday, November 3rd, and right back to the downside, right? That's called a failed breakout. So there's times when you need to be aggressive, there's times when you need to be passive, and all of that comes with the beautiful math. There's a lot of very clean setups that you can come up with using a simple moving averages. How far is a stock from a moving average? How far has it run up in terms of the most recent time, 4 or 5 days period? How far has it run up in 4 or 5 days? That can help you from taking aggressive breakouts. How far is it from the 50-day? How far is it from the 200-day moving averages? Where is the current market? Even things such as the inflation gauge, which is currently pricing in at what? Where's my like 50% chance that we're not gonna get a rate cut, which is pretty scary. Okay, there you go. 50% chance that we're not gonna get a rate cut. Pretty scary for the market, because market likes low interest rates. Trump was on the McDonald's conference yesterday, which I lost quite a bit of money on. Sadly, I was playing mention markets on Polymarket yesterday. I lost money, but as I was saying, god damn, my hair is so whack. Okay, I'm gonna go get a haircut tomorrow. I think tomorrow. No, maybe not, but I need to get a haircut. Trump was on the McDonald's summit talking about how interest rates need to come down to 1%. Buddy, I don't think interest rates are going to come down to 1% with the way you're dealing with things, with tariffs, with taxes, with with the stimulus checks, which are probably going to be talked about again, the tariff stimulus checks. So it's just like you're trying to recreate the whole COVID inflation again all over this place. So I'm just not sure if we're gonna actually see a rate cut in December, and Jerome Tule Powell will be brought up again. So we'll see how that happens. What is the cap you got on? You look like an elf. Yeah, I really hate this hat too. It's a Heineken hat. I got it for free when you buy a case of Heineken beer. I got it for free, but I haven't had beer in so long. In fact, I want to quit alcohol. I want to completely just quit alcohol and just be a stoner. Nothing wrong with being a stoner. Stoner life is great. Stoner life is great. What else do we have? Bullish. That's another good crypto company to keep an eye out, guys. BLSH. Absolutely got destroyed off of its IPO. A lot of companies who IPO'd recently got smoked. Circle, Figma, Klarna, which had what is it? Earnings today. Klarna, KLAR, another down move on KLAR. So things are not working out. Things are not looking good on the market, and it is 100% time to be bearish on the market, right? Be bearish, take advantage of the shorts, and have fun making that money. Quickly want to go check AMD before I go back to bullish. AMD looking fine at the moment, not looking too bad, but bullish will be pretty interesting over here. I would have liked it if bullish was somewhere here at $48, but you get what you get, right? You don't get to make the shots, you don't make to call the shots. Oh, look at this one, chat. Very interesting over here. So this purple line, or moving average, what am I saying, purple indicator that I have drawn is the IPO anchored VWAP. And if you take a look at that, let me just go to a better chart, a more clean chart for you guys. And if you look at that, right, it's been getting sold off at that anchored VWAP on every single pop. No sustaining power over here above that anchored VWAP at all. Not a single day did this stock close above the IPO anchored VWAP. Isn't that cool? Isn't that amazing how things work out like that in the stock market and in charts and math. Math is such a beautiful thing, and that's why I have to bring it back to MSTR. If you guys just look at simple variables such as how does the stock reacting from the all-time high anchored VWAP. It managed to stay above it over here, but now we're just struggling. That means the seller who's been selling from here may have given up a little bit, but now they're back in control. You can even put it to this candle where another downside move triggered from. Notice how they reclaimed this area, right? Successful reclaim when Bitcoin was trying to go back higher, if I remember correctly. Successfully reclaimed, but then right back again. Seller piles back. Fucking bullshit. Right back again. Seller piles back into that area from that price point. There you go. And notice how on that pop right there, which also happens to be the 200-day moving average, on this pop right here, on this pop right here, that seller's still in control, guys. And until we start getting back above this anchored VWAP, I'm not sure there's much bullish tendencies in MicroStrategy at the moment. However, this is a little extended. Okay, as there is extensions to the upside, there's also extensions to the downside, which could give you a relief long for day traders, for swing traders. It could give you a relief long here, some sort of a pushback up. We'll see if this little support, previous resistance, turns into support. We'll see if that plays out like that, and then we find a little bit of a base around $200. But what could also happen is we create a base around 200 and then you break down again. So make sure you're using your anchor VWAPs. Again, this is from anchor VWAP book, which is from Alpha Trends, Brian Shannon. Make sure that you're using these tools. Awesome tools out there. Bullish IPO anchored VWAP. Very, very interesting to see how that action is setting up for that. LOW, Lowe's, retail name, along with Walmart. Wait, Walmart's not tomorrow. Sorry, Walmart's Thursday pre-market. Retail stock Target reporting. Then you have VIX, which I believe is an automatic short, just because AI companies are just, out of the ballpark over here. If you want to create a website, it's never been easier to create a website. Thanks to AI tools. Gemini 3 came out today, I think today or yesterday? Today? I don't know. Gemini 3 came out. And again, that's an awesome AI tool that can help you create a website, and more for a reason why you don't need these garbage tools out there. And I think, an automatic short. So VIX, keeping an eye out for that name. And honestly, last but not least, I guess we'll say Pan W is a good name tomorrow. But last but not least, the only name that matters is Nvidia. The king of king, the queen of queens, the market holder or the market breaker. So if this one fails earnings tomorrow, be ready to sell your positions. Obviously not financial advice. I'm not telling you to sell your positions, but it would be possibly 30 minutes in. I want to go ahead and clip that video 30 minutes into the video. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put my notes in 30 minutes over here. Make sure that you're going ahead and putting your alarms for, I think it's 4:15. What time does Nvidia report tomorrow? Let's go check. 4:15, 4 o'clock on the dot. What is it? 4:20. Smoke weed every day. Love not dealing with hangovers. I'm 95-5 with smoke versus alcohol at the moment. What does that mean? What is 95-5? You're 95% smoke and you're 5% alcohol? I guess I'm basically the same thing too, because I don't really drink alcohol unless I'm with friends. There is a occasional now and then when I pour myself a little glass of whiskey or something and I'm watching some UFC by myself. You know, I get a little bored. I get a little sad that I'm all by myself. No friends, nothing. No girlfriend, no wife. No, I'm joking. I don't get sad about that. But, you know, I'm just by myself watching UFC. So maybe I'll bust out a glass of whiskey for myself. But, you know, I'm not an alcohol guy. And that's probably why I'm more inclined to just completely drop alcohol from my vices. My dad did that a long time ago, and you know, he did it more so for health reasons, but also it's a good thing that he did. So just trying to see if I should be joining his footsteps and completely give up on alcohol. Not that it messes with my head, not that if like you know, I have a alcohol problem or anything. Like I said, I don't drink if I'm not with friends. I don't drink. We don't keep much alcohol at home to begin with. But it's just a random thought that came to my head. That you know, maybe it's time to just drop it completely. But then again, if I'm not, you know, like addicted to it, or if I'm not like thinking about it and fiending about it every day, maybe once in a while with friends, if I'm outside with somebody, it doesn't really hurt that much to drink a beer or two. But my problem is, it doesn't stop with a beer or two. It starts with one and it goes into infinity and beyond until I black out. So that's the problem with me when it comes to alcohol over there. You know, you start with having fun and then you don't know the limit, and your next thing you know, you're head first in the toilet puking your brains out. So that's the not fun part. Anyways, I don't know why I started talking about alcohol all of a sudden, but yeah, 95-5 is kind of the same ratio where I'm at. Regarding rest of the stocks, I think I basically spoke about everything I wanted to. There is an IPO coming out on Wednesday, on Thursday, so we'll talk about that going into tomorrow. Make sure you tune in tomorrow to learn more about what this company does. I think it's a bank company last time I checked, so it's not as interesting, but still a decent sized company IPOing. So that's worth keeping an eye on. That's on the 20th of November. Monday next week is MSCI, Morgan Stanley rebalance. That's going to be a very interesting day because NASDAQ... Can't spell calendar for the life of me. NASDAQ calendar. Man, I hate the way Perplexity does things these days. Honestly, I fucking hate Perplexity these days. Like, I've been getting very annoyed with Perplexity. Like, just give me the goddamn website. This is why Google is so much better. Like, this is why Google is Google and Perplexity is trash. Okay? Perplexity Finance is just so much better. Like, I typed the exact same thing in Google and I got the exact image that I needed. But if you notice how much headache I have to go through, all the hoops and loops I have to jump through to get a simple thing such as a calendar, like, fuck, man, it's so annoying. Perplexity has been really pissing me off recently. Even looking at things as simple as an image. Like, god damn, Perplexity, fix your shit, bro. You guys have so much to fix, honestly. Anyways, coming back to here, you can see right there, MSCI quarterly review. That basically means that the indexes are going to be rebalanced by the Morgan Stanley Bank, by the Morgan Stanley Index. So lots of volatility on Monday expected. 27th is Thanksgiving, if I remember correctly, so that day is off. Markets are turned off for that day. And Friday on the 28th of November is you got 1 p.m. market, so a half day on that day. What is this? Short interest release dates. What is the green circle? Green circle's monthly options expiry, so that's the OpEx. That's going to be your third Friday, usually 1, 2, 3. There you go, third Friday. I'm surprised why they didn't put MSCI as the same as third Friday. Instead, they put it on a Monday. Kind of stupid. I wouldn't be surprised if they rebalance some of it on the 21st, because that's just more liquidity on the 21st and then more on the 24th too. So it's just, I think you're gonna see a double rebalance over there. it's just something that I think is gonna happen. We'll see if I'm wrong on that one, but that's a very, very important date. You guys might not care about rebalancing, but as a day trader, you gotta care about rebalancing, because you can get caught off guard by big money movers randomly during the day, and you don't want that happening, especially if you're in a Apple or Nvidia or Google, and then the rebalance happens, then you're screwed, right? Because the market is going to be moving in a direction that you did not even expect it to. So just be careful. That's going to be on Monday, November 24th. Are you going to be streaming live during market soon? Nope, I am never going to be streaming during market hours, because I like my free time. I don't want to be streaming during market hours, and if I do, then it's going to be for what's the company's name? Stock Trader Network, because I am contracted with them to stream at like 1 o'clock on Thursdays. I'm going to stream with them on December. Let me open my email here. I was asked to go live to fill in for somebody. Guys, look at my hair. What a mess. Anyways, immediate action required. Complete your Canada tax interview for Twitch. I don't give a fuck. Shut up. Charge me the extra tax bracket. I don't even make any money on Twitch. You can charge me the extra 500 for all I care. They want me to do my tax interview on Twitch because they want to pay me what? Pay me 2 cents that I make on Twitch? Fuck out of here. I don't give a shit about that. Where is this? Where is this email from Joel? Joel, where are you? There you go. They want me to go live on December 8th and December 9th at 3:30 p.m. in the STN room. So if you guys are interested, head over to Stock Trader Network and yeah, head over to Stock Trader Network. Join the network for a trial if you're interested. You can join the network as a free trial, and if you guys like it, you can upgrade it to a full room. There's legitimate traders, way more legitimate than Trader TV Live. I promise you, these guys actually make money, unlike Trader TV Live. Okay, so if you're interested, join this chat room. I think they are also planning on creating a YouTube link for people to watch, which I'm gonna be able to share for my 1 o'clock show. So we'll see if that link will be ready to be handed out this Thursday. So if it is, I'll post it on Twitter. So make sure you're following me on Twitter for all that other fun stuff. Along with Twitter, I'm actually gonna remove these guys because I don't even use their product, and they gave me their product only for 3 months. Like, you want me to promote your product, but you're only gonna give it to me for free for 3 months. You know what? No, I'm not promoting your product. So guys, don't pay for Edge to Trade because there's better products out there. There's Flash Research, there's Traders Insight, and there's Finviz. So don't buy Edge to Trade. Nah, I'm being salty. At the end of the day, I don't use Edge to Trade, so I'm not gonna promote Edge to Trade because I don't use it. As simple as that. So I'm gonna be taking these guys off my thing over here. If you still want to get a free code to get 15% off, right there, TraderPrad 15, feel free to go ahead and use that. But the softwares that I use to trade with are everything after that. So Traders Insight, Finviz, TraderSync, Benzinga, Flash Research, and the awesome Discord server, Market Pulse Discord, where the real simple Ariel himself, the man, the myth, the legend, is live trading in Discord. So come join us. Let's make some money together and cash out, baby. All right, chat, that's basically longer than I planned to. I was gonna only do a half-hour stream because I didn't have much to talk about, but me being angry on MSTR basically took up more than half my time today, which is good. You know, I got to fill in the whole hour time slot, which is good. And then starting tomorrow, I should be actually trading again. So I'll be able to hopefully show you charts. I'll hopefully show you executions and so on. Please, please, God, make my account ready. What's it gonna take to get the account fucking ready to trade? So hopefully God gets the account ready to trade for me, and we're able to show you guys some executions and all that other fun stuff. I'm behind like the 95. I'm behind, but I like the 95 to 5 way of life too. Hey, I like it. Angry Buddha has great things to share with us at all time. 95 to 5, baby. Looking forward to it for always. I'll let you guys know when those streams are happening. But the main reason why I'm not going to be streaming during market hours is because I'm not able to, I'm not allowed to stream my prop software. So if I do stream day trading, it's probably gonna have to be like this, where you guys see you know, a trading view chart and not my actual prop brokerage chart. And then I also don't know how it's gonna work out in regards to me talking about my trades. I literally have to sign a contract that I'm not going to be streaming live. I'm not going to be talking to people about my trades live. It's all in the contract, so I could literally lose my account for streaming live. So it just won't happen. That's their way to protect Trader TV Live, because Trader TV Live and their bullshit show that has no traders ever making money on that website or on that show, right? So just to protect them, these guys are making these bullshit clause and rules that's gonna stop other people to stream and use their platform. If I get another platform that backs me, that gives me $1 million to trade with, because that's what my account value is right now, if they give me $1 million account to trade with, then yeah, gladly I'm going to leave this company, go with that brokerage, and then I can do a lot more flexible things. But sadly, that's not the case for me at the moment, being Canadian. I don't want to have to deal with the Top Step and their CFD nonsense. You know, this is a direct market access, so I'm actually trading live markets and so on. So I just don't want to have to put myself in a position where I lose my trading account just because I want to be a streamer to 2 viewers, right? It just doesn't make sense. The trading account's more important. That's the main reason why I will not be streaming during market hours. And if I do, it's going to be for a paid, locked room, hidden stream. That way I don't get in trouble. All right, chat. Catch you tomorrow. There's an IPO to talk about. Make sure you tune in, 4:30 p.m. TraderPrad out. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I love you guys. Peace.